All right, so for our class today, so our learning objectives would be the following. So understanding what market deepening means and why it matters. So ito yung susunod natin. Know the different types of investors that form a strong investor base. Explain financial inclusion in the context of capital markets. And then identify examples of product innovation in capital. Yan sa inyo. So today we will talk about capital markets, but this is already post midterm, so it's not the basics anymore. So we are going to look into the four interconnected themes that define how modern capital markets evolve. Market deepening, the investor base, financial inclusion, and product innovation. So think of it as an ecosystem. Para maging healthy ecosystem, it needs to grow deeper, attract more players, be open to everyone, and continually introduce new tools and products. So today's lecture covers all four of those dimensions in in this class. In this slide, we will go into the market deepening per se. No? So market deepening is about the expansion of the size, diversity, and liquidity of a capital market. So a capital market, lalo na if it is deep, no? If it's a deep market, it can absorb large transactions without significant price disruption. Okay, so let's start with the first pillar, market deepening. When we say market is deep, we mean it has enough volume of transactions, maraming participants, and enough types of instruments that it can function efficiently kahit under pressure. So think about the difference between a small sari-sari store in a large supermarket. Diba? In the supermarket, even if 200 people walk in all at once, the shelves are stocked and prices remain the same. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng deep capital markets. No? That's what it looks like. So, yung four dimensions, yung more trading volume, ayan more trading volume. So, when more buyers and sellers participate, the market become liquid, no? So, liquid. So, this means that you can buy or sell quickly without moving the price dramatically. So, longer term instruments, no? Deeper markets offer instruments with longer maturity. Like yung tinatawag natin, no, na 10-year government bonds or infrastructure bonds. Okay, these are important for financing long-term projects like roads, power plants, things that we need. That is the reason why usually it is 10-year bonds is offered by the government, no? Secondary markets naman, a robust secondary market allows investors to sell their holdings before they mature. This flexibility encourages more people to invest in the first place. So bago pa lang mag-mature, no, yung kanilang investment, they can already sell, no? So secondary markets. So efficient price discovery. In a deep market, prices reflect the actual supply and demand. Hindi siya manipulation. Because if the market is not deep enough, it can be manipulated, di ba? Or minsan naman, we're just doing guesswork. This is crucial for investors to make rational decisions. So, point lang nun is that imagine if the market is not deep enough, walang masyadong players, if you are able to, manipulate the prices, yung kakonting tao, madadala sila nung kakonting nagmamanipulate ng market, yung mga pump and dump na tinatawag, they can pump the prices and then once you're in, then they can dump it to the market. So, it will not be efficient, it will not be fair for everybody. So that's how market deepening looks like, no? So it makes the market better and efficient for especially for investors. Okay, dito naman, no, sa slide number 3 natin, building the investor base. Yung key concept dito is that the investor base, pag sinabi natin investor base, this is the full range of participants who supply capital to the market. A diverse investor base ensure that no single group dominates and that the market remains stable. No? So kaya maganda na marami tayong full range of participants, hindi lang. So, for example, no, hindi lang foreign investors, because if they suddenly like leave the market, we will be affected. No? So it has to be diversified. No? So let's talk about who actually participates in the capital markets. We call this investor, this type of investor, uh, according to the base, no? So investor base. So the more diverse and broad the investor base is, the healthier the market will be. So there are four types of investors. First is the institutional investor. So usually these are the big ones, no? So pag pumasok ang institutional investors, like if you have the banks, mutual funds, insurance firms, pension funds, they are the backbone really of capital markets, and they invest large amount of money on behalf of their clients and policyholders, and that's why when they make a move, usually the price is more or less fixed at that price. And so for example, there's suddenly 100 million pesos worth of buying for a certain property, like let's say Vista Land, no, a landscape at 2 pesos. Okay, so it's a sudden jump. So pag tinignan mo na, teka, it's not just a small amount of money, it's a big amount of money. So alam mo na it's an institutional investor. It's not just one person na nagkamali lang ng price, no? They committed a mistake and then they paid at a higher rate. So institutional investor, more or less, syempre, they bought katulad nun, no? 100 million worth of shares. Hindi mo naman makikita siguro na dos pesos mo siyang binili, kinabukasan binenta mo na kaagad at 180, bumaba yung presyo, binenta na nila, di ba? So because alam naman natin na institutional investor yan, naturalmente, they will have to wait until it matures, no? So more or less long term yan. And that is the reason why we take a look at the movement of the institutional investors. Yung mga retail investors naman, ito yung mga everyday individuals, like, for example, if I participate in the market, you, individual person lang kayo, if you invest according to your personal savings, so okay naman yan, no? But individually speaking, like for example, you can see like 100 shares, 1,000 shares, all of these are small compared to, of course, the movement being initiated by institutional investors. But we have to understand, according to our idea, no, of market deepening, we have to have all of these retail investors. We want them to participate, and the market becomes broader and more inclusive if we have them. No, so think of someone buying 10 shares of Jollibee through an online broker. Di ba? Although 10 shares lang yan, it makes the PSE or the stock market, any capital market, really interesting and active na to begin with. Of course, laging magkakaroon ng foreign investors. So international investors bring cross-border capital. So for example, for us, nagbumibili ako ng tracker ng Euro stocks ng MSCI World Index, maaring naka-book yan sa US, no? So sa ibang bansa, syempre, foreign investor ako, no? So international investors, they bring cross-border capital. So they help to integrate local markets into the global financial system. However, they can cause also volatility. So sa atin ganyan, no? We call them the hot money, eh. Kasi when they come in, tumataas yung market. Kasi siyempre, great demand. So therefore, tumataas ang market. Pero pag nag-exit yung mga yan, halatang-halata mo, no? Talagang bumababa yung presyo. Lalo na yung mga hawak nila, siyempre usually binibili niya mga Ayala, Jollibee, 'di ba? So, alam mo na yun yung maapektuhan, no? So, for example, if they exit, nagkakaroon ng great volatility because like for example, no, biglang alam nila natataas yung presyo sa US, exit sila dito, lipat sila sa kabila. Even if they lose like 5, maybe even 10% pa nga eh, basta't sure sila talaga na makakalipat sila ng ibang market na mas, interesting. then they will do that. And that's the reason why we call it hot money, no? So they can exit quickly. Yeah, no? And of course, the last one would be the government and the pension funds. These provide the so-called patient capital. Kasi this is invested in the long term. Although, of course, we don't discount the fact naman that institutional investors and even retail investors for that matter and foreign investors, they can they can invest for a long period of time, right? So pwede rin naman silang mag-invest ng mahabang panahon. But usually the government is the one that does that because they are this money, no, is critical for funding large infrastructure and development project, no. So think of the investor base, this one, no, as the team in the relay race. So kailangan mo ng sprinters, yan, mga retail, no, marathoners, the pension funds, strategists, the institutional, and international runners, no, mga foreign investors. Every one of them, they play a major role in the capital markets. Okay, so ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng financial inclusion, no? So financial inclusion. So financial inclusion, if you will look at it, it means that we have to ensure that all segments of the society, all individuals, no, regardless of income, location, social status, they can participate and benefit from the financial systems. So, yan yung third pillar actually ng financial inclusion. Globally, about 1.4 billion adults remain unbanked. Dito sa Philippines, napakadaming unbanked. Kung hindi nga lumabas yung GCash, Maya, all of these fintech, hindi yan magiging interested sa banking, no? So, they have no access to 1.4 billion, lalo na sub-Saharan Africa. Of course, we don't say that to demean them or whatever, but that's the reality of it, no? So there are many, many people around the world that remain to be unbanked. So, but yeah, they have no access to basic financial services. But financial inclusion goes beyond just having a bank account. It's about giving everyone the ability to invest, borrow, and grow wealth. So in capital markets, financial inclusion means making investment products accessible to the ordinary citizen, not just the wealthy people, no? So this is increasingly possible through mobile technology and digital platform. So for example, yung sinabi ko nga kanina, so atin, GCash, Maya, they allow Filipinos to invest in funds with as little as 50 pesos, no? Pag gusto mo nga mag-invest sa mga mutual fund, pwede ka nga kahit 100 pesos lang mag-move ka na doon. No? Sabi nga rito, kahit 50 pesos. So PSEI Easy Investment Program, EIP, ayan, low in minimum investment lang, you can already start trading, whereas before talagang kailangan mong malaking funds, no? Government Retail Treasury Bonds, yung mga RTB, ito yung accessible to sa ordinary investors. So, ang nangyayari dito is that, kaya siya RTB, bibili yung bangko ng malaking investment, like let's say 100 billion, and then hati-hatiin niya yan, no? Ipapackage niya yan sa maliliit, ang tawag niyan sa parang retail store, parang tinitingin niya, no? Para the ordinary citizen can participate. And then, of course, another one would be microfinance linked instruments. So, bakit importante yung financial inclusion? When more people kasi participate, the market has a bigger pool of savings to mobilize. So, more capital means more funding for businesses and the government. It also reduces inequality by allowing ordinary people to build wealth through investments. So, halimbawa, you want to invest 1,000 pesos in the market today, paano mo siya ilalagay, no? Saan mo siya ilalagay? Yan, no? So, kayo sana naman nag-try na kayo. Kung hindi man kayo nag-try pa, o halimbawa, meron kayong 1,000 pesos, saan nyo pwede siyang ilagay, di ba? Marami na actually. Maya, GoTime, ang dami na po ngayon, no? Even ang mga bagong mga internet banking, no? Marami na rin tayo niyan. Okay, dito naman sa product innovation in capital markets, so this refers actually to the creation of new financial instruments and platforms that address evolving investor needs, no? Kaso nga lang may mga ano tayo rito, may mga disclaimer tayo and of course, while we want it to innovate, sometimes this is where the problems arise, no? So makikita nyo, even in history, you will see that the ones that innovated on the housing, uh, loans, yan, mga derivatives, they are the ones really who caused the 2008 financial crisis kung titignan mo. No? But anyway, hindi naman lahat niyang innovation ay pangit. No? So this is the fourth pillar of product innovation, the fourth pillar, no, of sa lesson natin, the fourth pillar is actually what we call product innovation, no? So capital markets are constantly evolving, new products are created to serve investors who have different needs. 'Di ba? Kung ano yung kailangan mo, binibigay ng liyan. Some want to invest kasi sustainably, some want diversification at low cost, and some want exposure to assets that they can't normally access. No? For example, katulad ko, I want to invest in technology stocks in the US or mutual funds in China. How do I do that? So yan, yan ang mga bagay na pag-uusapan natin. So six examples. First is the green sustainability bonds. So itong bonds na to, uh, they fund environmental and sustainable projects like solar farms or clean water systems. They are among the fastest growing segments in the bond market globally. Marami nagtatrack nito guys, no? Kasi support nila yung planet, support the earth. Ayan. So, yan yung mga green bonds, meron yan po. Okay? ETF, exchange traded funds, they allow investors to buy a basket of stocks in one trade like buying the market itself. They are low cost, transparent, and have democratized investing. So, ano ibig sabihin nito? Like, yun nga, maraming ETF na ngayon na available, like baskets of stocks, like katulad nga na sa akin, no, technology, ayan, pwede kang magtingin yan, no, sa meron ng FAMI, meron ng ATRAM, di ba? So, yan, mga ETF, exchange traded funds. Okay? Okay. Yan. So, tokenized securities, ayan, mga using blockchain technology, traditional assets like bonds and real estates are being tokenized, meaning you can own a fraction of an asset digitally. So this makes it possible to invest in real estate with very small amounts. 'Di ba? Hindi mo kailangan bilhin yung buong property. Maliit na maliit lang, mga tawag niyan tokenized. Okay, fintech and robo-advisors, it's an algorithm-driven investing, lower barriers. It lowers the barriers to entry kasi yun nga, hindi mo kailangan ng malaking funds to do it. So, gumagamit pati siya ng mga algorithm to create and manage investment portfolio based on your risk profile. Yan, di na kailangan ng human advisor and they reduce, of course, the cost significantly. And then we have REIT. Dito sa Philippines, meron na po nito, yung Real Estate Investment Trusts. It allows ordinary investors to own a share of commercial real estate. So, for example, mga mall, offices, buildings, hotels. For example, SM, no? Nagpaparenta yan, no? May mga property sila. You don't need to actually buy the property itself. Okay? So, mag invest ka lang sa mga REIT or real estate investment trust. So, parang nagkakaroon ka ng share doon sa income, ng rental income ni SM. Ayan. So, parang in exchange, syempre, yung ng iyong placement, ang win-win scenario to, no? Because si SM or any property sector na nagpa-participate dito, they can actually get the rental in advance, di ba? Parang ina-advance nila through your investment eh. So instead of collecting it month after month, pinapackage nila yung investment na yun, yung rentals na yun na advance nilang pwedeng makuha into an investment, di ba? And according dati nung matagal na to no, nung 2012 na nag-attend ako ng training sa capital markets, sinasabi nga nila doon na ito ay meron pang tax incentive, no? sa mga companies na nag-o-offer nito. Ayan ha. And then dito sa Philippines, wala tayong derivatives, but derivatives and structured products like options and futures, they are instrument whose value depends on an underlying assets, no? They are actually used for hedging, no? Para ma-dissipate yung mga risk. Okay? So companies use them to hedge against price changes in currencies, commodities, or interest rates. Okay, so dito na tayo sa slide number 6, the big picture, connecting the four pillars. No? So now let's step back and let's see how these four pillars connect. Okay? So they're not independent, they reinforce each other. So yung market deepening kasi, it creates the infrastructure for more investors to participate. Okay? A broader investor base provides more capital for product innovation. Okay? Financial inclusion naman widens the investor base, and product innovation makes financial inclusion easier by creating accessible, low-cost instruments. So in the main point, no, in this slide would be the center, no, yung strong capital market. 'Di ba, yung nasa gitna. So, what sits in the middle is actually the whole point of this exercise, of this presentation. A strong, efficient, and inclusive capital markets. That is the ultimate goal. Hindi yung puro mga mayayaman lang ang nag-i-invest, no? Ang tawag nga dati niyan, big boys club, no? Ayan, so hindi na dapat ganun. So we have to bring everybody to investment. So let's take the PSE. Over the years, the PSE has worked to deepen the market by introducing new products, mga ETFs, REITs. Meron pa nga silang ano pera. O pera. Parang hindi lang masyado siyang sikat sa mga investor, pero yun. Anyway, wala siya dito pero that's also something that they are now offering. So the goal is actually to attract investors, lalo na mga OFW investors, mga young professionals, mga Gen Z investors katulad nyo, no? Making it more accessible through online platform. So all of the four pillars are at work. Okay, so last slide na tayo, no? So this is a very short lecture, but you can see that it has a lot of connectivity. Okay, key takeaways and discussion here. Market deepening. So you can see that the more instruments, more liquidity, more efficient allocation. Sa investor base naman, when we have diversity among investors or and breadth, yung parang 'di ba, masyado siyang wide, no, yung kanyang investor base, it ensures the stability and resilience of the market. Saka yung long-term capital din, no. Financial inclusion, access for all equals a more robust market and equitable economy. Siyempre kailangan lahat talaga ay nagpa-participate, no. So hindi po pwedeng iba unbanked. Ayan, So, product innovation, new products create new opportunities and they also manage new risks. Okay? So, ayan. So, bilang additional assignment natin, no? Um, maglalagay tayo ng discussion point dito, no? So, discussion point here is, sabi niya sa baba, no? Which pillar do you think is the most underdeveloped in the Philippine capital market, no? So, then I will also ask you to watch a film that discusses the capital markets, no? Although this one talks about the 2008 financial crisis, so at least you will have an understanding why it happened. And then next week, God willing, of course, we will meet and we will explain this. And I will need your inputs. No, kailangan panoorin niyo talaga yung film. No, I will give you the link. Uh, pwede ninyo mga hanapin, no? So, but Meron akong kopya kasi nun eh, so I can send that to you. So thank you very much, and let's see each other next week. Bye bye.